Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Lex, and today we're going to be talking about the brand new movie Deadpool versus Wolverine. Now, before I actually went to the movies, I rewatched the first and second Deadpool, and man, they really do still hold up these days. I quite enjoyed myself watching through it. The first one, I kind of watched it here and there and kind of paused it because I've already seen it so many times. The second one, I kind of watched it through increments, and I still loved all the characters that were in it, especially even Cable and all the comedy that has into it as well. Ryan Reynolds and whoever the writing team over there is doing to really engage into what the Deadpool character is. I think that has to be one of my favorite things about Deadpool is the fourth wall breaking, is the joking around about kind of how the business works and the characters and everything, just kind of the surrealness of what's going on around him. I think I really love Deadpool when he kind of cuts through that like butter like nothing, and this new movie as well, it has all that and much more. And I gotta say, I quite enjoyed myself. I did not know what to expect because I did see some reviews coming this week before I actually went to the premiere of it, and they weren't quite the best reviews. But you know what I always say, when you read a review versus you enjoying it yourself or watching something yourself, it should always be that you have your own opinion. And I'm so glad that I tried to ignore all the chatter around me and I went and go watched it myself, and I left that movie theater so surprised, and even to this day still digesting a lot of the content that was brought to me forward. So in this movie, Ryan Reynolds definitely did more of what he's already been doing, and actually you could tell that it's just so smooth, so buttery, so the lines are delivered so easily. The comedy is on point, one after another after another after another. It's so much more of like the Disney, making fun of Disney, making fun of Marvel, making fun of the cinematic universe, all the characters in it. And I really love that they did not hold back on this one, especially since this is Deadpool's arrival into the Marvel universe. But you could tell that they had so much love into the movie, and they really cared about it. After the first and second movie, after what they made, apparently they made over billions of dollars. So it's been a successful franchise. And now that they were finally able to go into the whole MCU, I'm sure they were going to do the same thing, but much more, which they did. So not to get too much into spoilers such in the beginning, because I want to get to it in the back end of the video here. Overall, the comedy was amazing. Ryan Reynolds, just fits into the character so easily. It's awesome to see Hugh Jackman back as the Wolverine. Man, that guy looks amazing. He does not look like he ages at all, man. He is muscular. He is just like everything you've seen him since like the early 2000s, back on the screen. Surprisingly, in this movie there was a lot to do with Wolverine. Like, it wasn't just like Wolverine was here and there. It was actually, there were segments in the movie where a lot of the dialogue or exposition was Wolverine, and which I quite enjoyed, because honestly, when I came in there, I thought that it was just going to be like, Wolverine tags along in some weird way. But they actually built the story off of both of them, kind of for an overall arcing story, right? Which was really surprising to me. I liked it that they did that, especially because the way that Logan ended, the way the kind of things ended with that whole thing, and to see it come back to life here was so good. So the way they kind of went about reintroducing Logan was really fantastic. I really enjoyed about how they did it. They did it I don't know if this is spoilery or not, so I'll try to be as non-spoiler as I can be. But the way they did it immediately. With the first 12 minutes of the movie, we addressed the core issue here. Didn't Logan die? Where is Logan? How are we gonna get Logan back? But they addressed it immediately, which I enjoyed, with a big action scene in the beginning with music, of course. Like every other Deadpool we've seen, the beginning of the movie is action and a freaking awesome song playing along. I forgot who it was. I'm not sure if it was the Backstreet Boys or NSYNC. I think it was one of them. I can't quite remember because it was before my time, but I do remember that song. And honestly, I gotta say, it was so fucking awesome seeing that. I liked also that they introduced the TVA, which was introduced in the Loki series. The Loki series has a very important part to play in, I guess, with the future franchise. It seems to me, from what I've been seeing with the movie, like they're bringing the TVA. That's kind of how Deadpool was able to go through time, and they kind of explain everything. And then you see the guy from Succession. If you guys watched that show, I think his name was Tom. You see him as one of the main people in the movie as well. So I thought it's a really cool way for them to interconnect everything, and it was kind of also very like multiversy, and they kind of addressed that as well. Like with so many multiverse movies at this point, how many more can we get? I think that's one of my gripes about it, is that maybe it's not about the movie itself, but it's like, man, I think they even talk about it in the movie, like, oh, not another multiverse movie. Ryan delivers a little funny joke about, the Wizard of Oz doing the best multiverse movie. So I think I kind of like out with the multiverse movies. I mean, they did a great job in this one, but still, like, it's kind of overdone at this point. But it's great to see that they're able to, use that to their benefit, and kind of setting up for future plans. I think that was kind of the way that they were going to do it, especially even Deadpool. That's why this movie is super, super important. I feel like it's going to be following up the later franchise. I'm going to, hopefully we get to see Deadpool with the Avengers, or we get to see Deadpool, in the kind of a mainline MCU movie. We'll see, man. But I think we're headed that way. I want to see kind of how the comedy and how all that's going to be fitting into it. But to see the Wolverine back, to see him back on the screen after so long is so, so cool. I really like that they brought back his kind of classic yellow and blue uniform. He looked really awesome. There's even a point in the movie where, he ends up putting his whole hood on, and it looks very like anime-ish. But they did a great job with it as well. The costume designs of the movie was fantastic. The set designs of the movie were fantastic. Something that was also surprising about this movie was the level of emotional beats that they had through the movie. I thought that, it being an action comedy movie like it's been in the past, there's also been a lot of sprinkles through it all. When Deadpool is dealing with the loss of his wife, or Deadpool is dealing with things, there's like realness in there. I think the fact that it's surrounded by so much comedy, and that it makes those moments really, really, really impactful. And Wolverine in this movie definitely has those impactful moments like that. And it also goes to show that these actors are amazing. They're really, really awesome. I think that's one of the quite things that I was also surprised about, is the delivery of and the performances of everybody that was shown in this movie. Like, it was such a fantastic cast of people, like just surprising cast of people that we'll get into in just a moment here. But overall, I think it was such a great movie. It was so unexpectedly good. I didn't know where we're gonna head through to with this one, but the fact that it had good pacing, good emotional beats, everything was delivered pretty properly, I think. And I think there was some funky parts here and there, especially kind of with the multiverse thing and the time stream shit. Like, it just seemed a little like, okay, we're kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit there. I could see that. I think that's one of my gripes with the movie. But again, it's a multiverse movie, it's a timeline movie, so you're gonna have those kind of fatigueness after all these other multiverse movies that we've had. But overall, I think the movie was fantastic. But from here on out, I think I'm gonna get into some spoilers in the movie if I haven't already done it. We'll definitely get into some spoilers right now. All right, so if you have not yet watched the movie, we're about to get into some spoilers. But here we go. You've been warned. The amount of cast that they brought into this movie and the amount of surprise guesses that we got into this movie was amazing. Like, who would have thought that we were gonna see Chris Evans as Johnny Storm once again? Who would have thought? It was freaking crazy. The theater went absolutely bananas for that. Everybody thought that we were going to see Captain America, even though Deadpool also said that, oh, we're about to get Avengers Assemble. No, sir. We're about to get one of the Fox Universe's Fantastic Four. Who would have thought to say that? A raunchy version of Chris Evans today is insane. I'm glad that we were able to see that. Who would have thought that we were finally gonna get Blade back, Electro back, Gambit back? Gambit, he was finally able to play the role that he's been wanting to play after such a long time, and the fact that they were able to put him into the movie and him to actually have his own time in the movie was so good. I really liked that they brought Wolverine, and where Deadpool was going into the different dimensions or different timelines, and you saw Hulk versus Wolverine, that original comic book that they had. Like, so many special guests in this movie. Like, it was so overwhelming but so happy. It was so amazing to see all those like early 2000 movies come back to life and actually have redemption. They even talk about it in the movie where, like, oh, we need to have like redemption of ourselves, and that's kind of the core like thing that they use to kind of have the a plot device, and I'm glad that we're able to see the original actors playing the original characters from the moments that we grew up. At least for myself, I grew up in the early 2000s and watching all those movies, so I'm glad I was able to see all of them. I'm glad that we got to see all the different Deadpools. Like, if you're a comic book nerd, you would love to see this as well and see all the different Deadpools. I'm sure you could spot thousands of different like little Easter eggs that they had through the movie. Like I said earlier, I really like how they addressed the Wolverine and how they're gonna put him into the future franchise. Like, we brought him back. Now here we go. Like, I'm glad that we're here. Yeah. So everything turned out great. I think Marvel did a fantastic job with this movie. I think I was so happy to see Wolverine back. I was so happy to see all the characters back. It wasn't, kill how we originally thought it was, kill the Fox universe. It was actually the Fox universe being assembled. And I'm so happy that we were able to see all these different characters that we, grew up watching. I'm so happy Deadpool, came back after a couple of years. Like, it's so amazing what they were able to do with this movie. And I'm hoping that they bring him back now that he's part of the MCU, part of Disney. I'm so happy that they were able to actually do all that and, make the jokes that they did, bring back Wolverine, bring back X-23, have all these different characters, have all these characters kind of close their chapter in this movie. They did a fantastic job of this movie, and I really recommend you guys to go watch it if you have not yet watched it yet. I know this is going to be a massive premiere. It has been a massive premiere, and I quite enjoyed it myself. There's not much more here to say than, man, what a great, fucking awesome movie. And I got to give this movie a 8.5. So with that being said, bub, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.